What's up, mobile gamers? It's Drudger Gigs back with another video, and we're playing Neon today. I talked about this kind of in my tier list video, and one of the things I said was she is the best single target healer. And I basically had everybody kind of in the same area. I think all of them were really good at that time except for Chemist. So since she did get a buff, I think she might go up a little bit. But overall, I think all of the healers need a little bit of love. But I think of the healers, Neon is probably my personal favorite. I do like Iris, but I just don't think that her kit is as good as it could be. And I think that kind of holds her back from the top spot, as far as like my own personal, like who I enjoy playing. I actually don't like playing Labula. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not a big Labula guy, and I think most of you guys already know that. He has been growing on me, but I think that Neon kind of has been replacing a lot of these other healers just because of what she can do and how good she can be. So we're gonna link the Jabali, and I kind of want to. We'll teleport over to. Where'd he go? Come on, Fade. Okay, I did not realize she was following me. But anyways, Neon is really good, and you guys are seeing her a lot more in competitive play, and I think it's because of how easily she is able to actually help out her team. So, oh, they got a Gatlin. Nice. Well, that's gonna be. This will be a quick one, because they're just gonna sit with the Gatlin, and normally I would switch, especially since we already have an Iris, but it's just so. Yeah, I mean, the Aletta's gonna try, maybe, but with the Aletta not doing too good, I think we're just gonna stick with Neon. But as I was saying before, she is very good, and I don't think any of the other heroes can really touch her single target healing. Save for Labula because of his invincibility, but unfortunately he is still only got that on his tactical. And Neon has it on her ultimate, so they both have invincibility. So this will probably be a short one for you guys because we are struggling with this Gatlin. Nobody's trying to kill her. And I have been basically stuck on the back because Neon does not do good damage. And that's one of the things I think she is very lacking in, is the damage department. Oop, are we dead? Yep. And there's no shield from the Jabali until afterwards, so that kind of sucks. So as you can see, you very much so have to depend on a team. And that is probably, we'll mute this for you guys. That is probably one of the most important parts about playing a healer, is if your team is not good, then you're going to lose pretty much every time. And there's not really any way around it, unfortunately. Save my ultimate for when we have a little bit more people, but the team is where your healer is going to be most effective. So a bad team basically means you automatically lose, especially when you're playing, like, if we were to be playing 3v3 or something like that, then it would be even worse, since the bots literally just kind of do their own thing. See if we can't try to get away from the Diggy here. But they have pretty much got us cornered. We're going to lose this one. Especially with the Sindri just kind of doing her own thing. She's following the Aletta for some reason. And we're not really pushing together as a team. So you can see, there we go, a little bit of OSAS action, but we lost a tank for that. So I don't know if that's necessarily worth it, especially because the OSAS has not... He's just sitting back there, not doing anything. And they do have a Ruby as well. So we'll... Oh man, teleport right to your death, right? So that's the first game for you guys. And it's the perfect example of why you have to have a good team. Because these guys just keep changing around to heroes that they're not good with. And yeah, we have no one to teleport to on the point. So couldn't get there in time. Very unfortunate. And I think that that's probably the best example to start off on, because you essentially will not be able to get out of any situation that's like that. If I would have switched over to a flanker, and taken care of the Gatlin and then possibly the Hua Ling, I think we would have had a really good chance. But unfortunately, that's the downside of recording a video, is if they are playing a good team comp, you're going to lose because you have to change. And that is really where the healers kind of start to fall off. Because if they would have had a different team comp, then maybe we could have done it. But I basically have to sit there and try to heal the Jabali and the Fade while they go out there and die on their own to a full team. And then, of course, we don't have any flanker to deal with the Gatlin and the Hua Ling. And none of our close range heroes are dealing with the... They had a Diggy at one point, and then our Aletta was not doing very good as well. So that's kind of the really bad part about playing healers, is if your team sucks, then your healer sucks. Because there's no way to keep everybody alive and even do damage at the same time. I would say that Labula's damage is pretty good, but none of the healers can do damage anymore. They kind of heal, but they don't have any survivability. They have no damage. None of them can actually get any movement speed, except for Neon with her teleport, and even then you saw a lot of the times you can teleport to your death, like I showed you guys in that last game. And it really sucks because I think the healers do need some love, and I think Neon's the one with the most potential, because you do see her in high level gameplay because of how good she is. And unfortunately, that requires somebody who's also good to be playing the tank. And not a lot of people know how to play tanks. So you saw the Jabali and the Fade, they just kind of ran in there and died, which was very unfortunate. And hopefully we can get a little bit better players in our next match. Because especially with Neon, when you're doing single target healing, you basically have to pick one person and try to keep them alive. And if they just keep making stupid decisions, they're eventually going to die, or you'll try to heal them and then the entire team will target you. So that's kind of what you see with a lot of the people that play healers, is they play healer, their team plays really bad, and then they switch off and they're like, this is stupid, I might as well do some damage if my team is gonna suck. So that's kind of my thoughts on it, and we will go ahead and jump into the next match for you guys. Alright, you guys, got into a match. It is Control, and it's on Elephant, so quite a bit different match already from what you saw before, and we have a extremely good team comp. So hopefully this will be exactly what we need to turn this video around, because that's why I was talking about needing a good team, because they have a Chemist and a Sindri and a Fort, so they do have a good team comp as well, probably a little bit better than ours. And unfortunately, they are going to have to go ahead and deal with the Gatlin themselves, because we are the healer. So basically what we're going to do is going to wait and see how everybody's doing and kind of decide who we're going to follow. So that's one of the things I like to do as Neon, and you'll see a lot of the higher level players will do this as well. Oops, I wasn't paying attention. You have to actually pick somebody who's good and kind of follow them around essentially and babysit them. And now we're just gonna lose. Awesome. Gatlin is not playing. Come on, Gatlin. There we go. Okay. Yep, see, the whole team's dead. They're just... Yep. And I don't know where the Gatlin's going. Now, hopefully they don't spawn camp me. I can teleport out, but I prefer not to always do that, especially with a good team like this. Transfer over to the Gloria here. And you can see, like, I don't know what they're doing. They're just running out and dying. And it doesn't matter how good I am. I cannot really do much about it. And you can see that even now, I have no damage on any of these other heroes. And my healing is not enough to kind of bridge that gap. So I have to rely on the Fade in order to do any damage to the Fort. And he's got his shield up, so it just kind of shows, you know, how vulnerable the healers are. I think they need more health or to deal more damage. And it kind of sucks in the spot they're at, because I think even though Neon is very, very good, she is not where she needs to be. I think all of the healers need a little bit more love, and we'll teleport over to the Fade. and then give some healing to the Gatlin. And that's one of the things I do like about Neon, is you can kind of pick and choose who you want to heal. And so let's say this Gloria dies, I can literally just teleport to the Gatlin. And I think that's really one of the best parts about Neon, is her flexibility. So you can see I saw the Gatlin had an ultimate, and we went ahead and jumped to her, and now we'll jump to the Fade. And that is where, yep, we're dead. Oop, oop, oop. Wait for the, yeah. And that's where you see the problems start to come in. And of course, with a team that's not even playing, you're always gonna lose. It's unfortunately the truth. They really should address some of the problems with either getting kicked. Maybe they got kicked. I don't know. They were playing earlier, so hopefully they didn't quit. And then you see that the hero switching is never a good thing as a Neon. You don't want to see that. No switch on the Fade, so we'll stay by him. But got to switch to Gloria, which is nice. And we'll go ahead and use our ultimate on the Fade. And he did not take advantage of it. He just put his shield up. So that's kind of what I've been talking about, is how, you know, your team can kind of let you down. And so no matter what I do, we'll teleport out of there real quick. Oh wow, really bad lag. See if we can't help out with the fort. And now that we're all together, I think it'll be a lot better for us. So you do have to rely on your team, and that's why I'm glad we can still rely on the Fade and then the Gloria. So you saw that was a good switch to the Gloria from, oh man, whoever he ended up playing first. And the switch to Yaw is good if she will actually focus the right person. So what she needs to do is focus the Gatlin, and she is in the center focusing the fort. So I just don't think that's the play. And I think that they need to do a little bit more so that the healers don't have to rely on their team as much. Because you saw that once the Fade is dead, I either retreat or I just let them kill me and spawn back in so that we can regroup with the Fade. And that's where I think you do have a little bit of flexibility if you pick the right person to follow. But a lot of times, it is not as easy as it sounds. So hopefully we see some buffs to the support heroes, especially with how weak they've been lately. Help out the Gloria, teleport into the Gatlin, and so you have flankers right here, who's just sitting here. They flank us, and then we have to go ahead and deal with them. But you definitely have a little bit more options as Neon compared to some of the other healers. So we'll see if we can't get them off of the point here. I think whoever is able to, if we get this taken from us, we lose. So hopefully, and that chemist should be dropping down onto the point. Especially with the fact the game is on the line here. So grab the kill in the Gloria. And so you can see there, even when I did just kind of had like an average game, just by the Fade being a good player, we were able to elevate our Neon gameplay and kind of do a lot better than before. And then you get these super slow endgame screens. I don't know if you guys have been having this. It could be my device. I know my phone is not the greatest, but it is a lot better to play a healer with your friends. And unfortunately, all my friends are like either masters level or they're not on right now. So, but you see 17 assists, 4 deaths. We got a pretty good score, I think, and we were able to help out the Gloria with most of her kills. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. We're going to jump into something here. If we can get the loading screen to come through. And straight up, we're going to lose for you guys essentially in this last part of this video, because I want to show you how the best healer can literally never do good when you compare her to like some of the other healers or even any of the damage heroes. She may be a very good healer for a single target and do good in a team setting, but she just kind of falls short when you have other stuff going on in like a 3v3, for instance, or something like that. So we will go ahead and jump to that. Alright, you guys, so we jumped into some free-for-all, and this is what I want to talk about. So basically, I have no abilities right now because all I have is my tactical, and you can see that even though Neon is probably the best healer, they are bots, of course, so they never miss headshots, but you don't really do as good as you used to as a healer in free-for-all. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys just real quick. If you remember, even from either watching this channel or back in the day when you used to have Chemist be meta, where she could basically shoot the ground and do all kinds of crazy damage, you know, you had that before, and now you have basically a bunch of healers who cannot hold their own in a 1v1. And that's kind of why you jumped into here, is because if you remember any time earlier, you actually could jump into a game as Iris or Chemist, and I would have beat that Hunter. If I was old school Iris, or, you know, start of season however much Chemist, you know, back when before she had all of her changes and stopped being as good, she was very, very fun to play and still did a decent amount of healing. And so I think what you find a lot of the time is they want to make the healers good, right? So they make them good at healing, but what ends up happening is they make them where they're not very good in general at dealing damage. So you basically have to completely rely on another player in order to have a good game with a healer. And you can see that even against basically a Gloria with no health, and then we got the unlucky spawn on the mark there. Even on a Gloria with no health, we're not able to even kill her, and much less even stay alive unless I basically hide and wait for my HP to come back. And I know I'm missing some, and they are bots, so they never miss. But you can see there that if I were to be any of the other healers back when they had a little bit more damage, that I actually could go in, jump in a match of free-for-all, and do relatively good with somebody like Iris or Labula or, you know, whoever. And I think that's what's missing from the healers, is they don't heal enough to make this worth it. I can't sit here and just out-heal him. I can't just heal myself and hope that I do enough damage. I have to literally wait for somebody to take his health down and then jump in and try to steal the kill. And so what you'll find is that you can't get 1v1s, you can't really win them. You don't do enough damage for it to be worthwhile. Oop, we're gonna run away from the bot Victor, because he will kill us, because we are not that good. But there's not enough damage, there's not enough healing to offset the damage, right? If I did more damage, then you wouldn't need to heal as much, because I could just heal a little bit and change the course of the fight. And if I was healing enough, then I would just sit there and heal and heal and heal. Oh, we're dead. Yep, she trapped us here. You could just heal and heal and heal, and it doesn't matter if you don't do enough damage, because they just can't kill you unless you mess up and do absolutely no damage, and, you know, you sit here. I wish you could, like, teleport to yourself. That'd be pretty cool. But you can see that even against, like, a mark that has low health, I am missing all the shots. We just cannot compete. You know what I mean? And I think that is what's missing from the healers, is the ability to make an impact on the battlefield in their own way. You know, when they're alone, or when they need to deal more damage. You know, you don't really have a fallback. I know Neon can teleport, but I don't have a fallback if somebody just pushes me while I'm alone, because none of the healers can actually do enough damage to change the fact that they are not able to out-heal themselves. They can't heal themselves. Why are you not shooting at me? Is he... Oh, that's so weird. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and kill him, I guess. He's just standing there. Check this out. We can't... So I'm targeting him, but it's not actually hitting him. This is so weird. I have never seen this, you guys. Have you guys seen this? This is what happens with Vincent. Oh, I was messing around. Dang it, Gloria. That's what happens with Vincent, as they just all of a sudden lock onto you and follow you. But with healers, you have no damage, no healing, no movement abilities except for Neon's teleport. And that's why they're so lacking in a lot of departments. And they feel so lackluster because if you're facing, you know, you've got somebody you're healing like a Fade, I can't really do too much to change the outcome of the fight unless the Fade is good enough to capitalize on the healing that I give him. So you'll find, here use the ult, oh, we died. You'll find that the healers just don't do enough. I think Neon's still very, very good, especially in a team setting. Don't let this fool you. This is, you know, this is bots versus Neon, who does not do very good damage compared to somebody like Iris or Sindri. You know, they just don't. We'll let her win here real quick. Come on, kill me. Come on, come on. It's funny. There you go. They just don't do enough. You know what I mean? And I think Neon has a lot of potential, but they need to give her some love. You know, Gloria was busted, and they gave her 2 buffs. They gave her 2 buffs, and she was already really busted, really good, and almost always a pick. She was always the #1 pick in the games that I had, besides Gatlin when she was really strong. And I wish that we had that for some of the healers and some of the flankers, because they need to kind of address the balance in the game, because a lot of the roles just kind of, they have like one small area they're good at, right? Where the healers and the flankers are good at this one specific thing. But apart from that, they are very bad in all of the other aspects and all of the other parts of the game. And it kind of makes for an unbalanced roster as a whole. Because I can't jump into free-for-all with the healer. And even in a team setting, if they just kind of focus me instead of the DPS that I'm taking care of or whatever, then you're going to die. You have no way of getting out of that if your team doesn't help you. And I think that you should have a bit more tools at your disposal to kind of deal with 1v1s or to kind of survive in a group setting if your team is not doing very good. You know, I really wish they could heal themselves. You know, put their ability on themselves so that it heals them at a very good rate, kind of like what Chemist used to be, but without all the broken parts of her kit. The reason she was so good is because she could do damage and heal herself at the same time in one shot. So you could shoot the ground at your feet and deal damage while healing constantly, and you just would out heal them and out DPS them. And what we need to do is bring back the damage or the healing so that we can still have some viability in those 1v1s and in those tough team situations. So those are kind of my thoughts on how we can address the healers and what we need to do. And I think Neon is the best out of the healers right now. That's why you're seeing her a lot in competitive and very high ranks. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments, what we should do to the healers, and we'll see ya in the next one.